C is good now? Question mark. All right, we're gonna run back another Tainted Samson run real quick, and then we'll pivot to something else. But for now, we have a chance to finish the posted note. Well, probably just FTL being like a guaranteed 2-hour block means we're gonna roll it tomorrow, but we'll make the time. It's been like not just this week, but like the last 2 weeks have been. There's been a lot of non-farmable content. You know, school took up most of last Monday and most of the Monday before that. There's been a lot of sponsored segments. Like, I'm enjoying the opportunity now to just do a little solo. Like, this is my therapy session, basically, where I, like, insult other mediums, such as, like, being a Subway franchisee without actually having any awareness of it. But we'll get some Gardic, we'll get some FTL, we'll get some Tokyo. I can't promise all of them will be tomorrow or even Friday, but we finally, after yesterday in particular, we have a little breathing room to start fitting some more stuff in. Phantom Abyss is like, it's a we'll see for sure. If the right day, I think it's a great game. If the right day strikes me to put it in the docket, then it could happen for sure. But I see it like, you know, you can laugh about how long I've played Repentance or the fact that I play so many roguelites and stuff like that. But I really look at that stuff as like the foundation of the channel. Not just for analytics, but for like my own... For me to feel right, I need some rantable solo content that's different every single time. And we've been a little light on that in service of some higher order pageantry. This is self-care right now. I'm gonna hit the buttons, man. I'm loco. Do you remember Neon Abyss? It could be good for a one-off. Oh, you mean Neon Abyss, Dan Giesling's favorite game of 2020? Will Trackmania remain the only unvictoried battle royale? I feel bad saying it, but yes, and there's a couple reasons. You're gonna laugh. The big one is honestly, for some reason, it gives me like motion sickness. And I think it's something to do with the 60 ghosts flying around you at like all occasions. Or maybe the fact that the courses go like so twisty-turvy, like up and down and stuff like that. So that's one element of it. And then the other element is it's one of those games with like the highest skill floors and the highest skill caps. And your skill determines much of your success. Whereas, you know, in something like Fortnite, you could just have that win that we just had. Run. So I think I'm skeptical that I will return to the Trackmania BR. But I love Trackmania. Just something about the BR mode, honestly, makes me kind of sick. But I wish it weren't the case. Come on, man. Is there a law that says we don't give good items out anymore? I guess I did get the relic on the last floor. I will say, I mean, there's like a lot of questions or like suggestions for games right now. But I do need to say, given like what I just said, and I'm not trying to be rude about it, at least. You can decide whether or not it's rude. We have like almost the exact opposite problem right now. I don't need more games, like I need more time. Which is a harder problem to solve, for sure. Or maybe it's like an easier problem to solve because there is no obvious solution, which means, you know, just let me handle it. This is my one chance to suggest TF2. You blew it. You blew it because I literally just said I don't have enough time to play even the things that I want to play. and you took your one chance, and you said a guaranteed no, now's the time. I question your judgment. What happened to Spire Dailies? Literally nothing. They're right there, man. You just haven't had a... Where do you want to fit them in? We got to get a little breathing room first. Austin Powers TCG rematch. I attempt to shag your rod. I'm hoping they'll come out with a new set eventually for that, and then we can consider it. For now, with like the base cards, I'd rather D&D over Austin Powers again. We don't need to talk about either of those entities for the time being. All I'm gonna say is we may have a difference of opinion. Tross one. Okay, take me down here. All the kids in Sweden love playing the Austin Powers TCG. Little girls in Sweden dream of playing Austin Powers Blutations. Dude, Love Letter. Now you're talking. Love Letter's a sick game. Now we're talking. Okay, as of right now, I'm issuing a decree. I will not be responding to game suggestion chat. I am no longer asking politely. Bernie Sanders holding a gun meme. Okay, Monstro's Lung, extremely good eats. Repeat in trade offer format. Trade offer, you stop suggesting games. I have my blood pressure returned to merely only being one standard deviation outside of the norm for my age group. How does that sound? We don't receive anything in that? Well, you receive me not passing out on stream when I'm like 36 years old. And then being like, whoa, that was weird. I felt really dizzy and then I just fell down. Hello, live stream fails. Any movies you're excited for this year? I'm excited to announce that I'm thinking about considering watching Tenet. It is now available on Crave. Oh, baby. It's now available on Crave in Canada, which means I can use an app to watch it at my leisure. I don't believe that is that good. People have told me it's not that good, but it is noteworthy, and as a result, I would like to see it. Apart from that, you're not going to like the answers. I will absolutely 100% use your Twitch subscription money to pay the $30 to the Walt Disney Corporation to watch Black Widow when it comes out, which I think is in like 3 weeks or something like that. Apart from that, I'm just thinking. I'm trying to think of what's even coming out. I watched Moneyball for the first time on Sunday. Dude, Moneyball. It's honestly, I made fun of the AMC channel here for just playing Moneyball and the Karate Kid Part 2 over and over and over again. But it literally, any time that I'm like doing nothing, which is pretty rare admittedly, but then I see that Moneyball is on, I just put it on. Like, I honestly feel like I get something out of that movie every time I watch it. Like, sometimes you watch it and you empathize with Billy Beane, you know? You're like, he was going to make it as a pro athlete. Didn't. And now he's, like, stuck in baseball for the rest of his life. He's trying to make it work with this team that doesn't give him the same resources. It's like a fundamentally unfair arena because of the fact that, you know, the Oakland A's owner doesn't have the same kind of financial power as the Red Sox or the Yankees, and yet he's still trying to make it work, right? Sometimes you watch it, you sympathize with Jonah Hill. You're like, here's this guy, he's a Yale economics major, obviously not an ex-professional athlete. Nobody's taken him seriously as a result of the fact that he didn't throw the baseball around in his younger years. Sometimes you watch it, you feel bad for I forget the name of the player, but the one that Billy Beane has to send down in order to pick up, I forget the name of the outfielder, but anyway. It's a great, like, mature movie. It's a wonderful film. It is, I know it's based on real life. It has an awesome ending, though, in that, it doesn't work out at all and still has not worked out. And hey, man, sometimes that's just life. It's like a slightly worse Big Short. I'm not mad at the take. I don't disagree with that. I think the Big Short is more fun. It's tough, though. They're both really good movies. I've seen them both recently. Also, Common Element, Brad Pitt, man. I think The Big Short is easier to enjoy. It's more outwardly entertaining, for sure. I don't know. Dude, that soundtrack in Moneyball, though, the Explosions in the Sky soundtrack. Oh, man. I would watch Big Short on a plane if it was available, no questions asked. That's how I watched it the first time. Then I watched it again like a week ago. Like a month ago. POV, you're pooping the toilet. It's a great movie. Vice, on the other hand, I'll be honest, like, Vice was, like, heavy-handed for me. It's like more like an SNL sketch where, like, rather than being like this movie is entertaining or like thought-provoking, is much more like, wow, he looks and sounds like the guy. So I'd say, like, Moneyball is really good, but if you're not in the mood for that, like, you know, you could always watch, like, Norbit is another good one. I would love if... And again, I'm making it sound like I'm such a huge, like, Binging with Babish fan. I watched, like, 2 videos of Binging with Babish. One was the Alio e Olio, and then the other one, he was making, like, some kind of South Asian flatbread. And I was like, I'm never going to do this, and I just turned it off. It was like this... He's like, it's really easy, and then it, you know, step 1 of 400. Dude, just trust me. But what if Babish did a turkey-ass recipe? It would be good for me to poop on and then eat. His superiors would not allow. What do you mean his superiors? He's Babish. He's the one being binged with. How can someone be superior to the guy who's got his name on the channel? He do be binging? He's the one who cooks. Say my name. What am I doing? What am I doing on this run? Okay, I'm doing fine. I come back and he's having this run. This is actually one of the most dangerous archetypes of run that you can ever have in Isaac. It's a run that's so good, I'm not thinking about the game literally at all. I'm 100% on autopilot. That's where mistakes happen. And it's more dangerous than a bad run. Because on a bad run, you're like, if I lose, nobody cares. Everyone's like, good try, the game screwed you. On a run like this, if you lose, people are like, how could he ever lose this? And you're like, law of large numbers. It do just be happening from time to time. Taking that would be Zane incarnate. Yeah. You know what else is zany by that logic? A little video called the BME Pain Olympics where a dude cuts off his penis with a pair of scissors. It was so zany, dude. I consider it like a huge inspiration. I love that video. Did I ever tell you? I'm sure I did, but not everybody was here, I'm sure. But when I was, I taught English in South Korea, and one of the classes that I taught for like a couple of months was a 6th grade level class. So the kids were like, you know, 11, 12 years old. And one day one of the kids came up to me and was just like, teacher, you know BME? And I was like, BME? No, I don't know what's BME. And he's like, BME, BME Olympics? And I was like, what are you talking about the BME Pain Olympics for? But as soon as he saw my reaction, he just started to laugh, and then the class was over. I was like, just get out of here. Why you're like 12 years old? Why are you watching videos of people cutting? I mean, I guess it's fake, but why are you watching videos where people pretend to cut off their own phallus? But you know, kids will be kids. Why was I? I don't know. I mean, I was a contemporary, I think, when that video came out. I think I was like 16 when the BME Pain Olympics video came out on E-Baum's World. So, I mean, I wasn't in it. I was behind the camera in the visual effects department. Industrial Light and Magic. It's definitely not fake. What's more fake, it or the kangaroo punching video? It? Is it or is it the kangaroo punching video in this context? You know what video I watched? I haven't seen it in years. But it's like a time capsule to an earlier internet age. King Botch's Vine, but that backflip though, it's an all-time classic in the short-form comedy medium. Help! That guy just stole my purse! I got it! Woohoo! He's already gone. Yeah, but that backflip though, such a great video. Oh man. It's literally like 4 seconds long, and it's got like 30 seconds of quotable moments. I do not take. Good video? Dude, Vines? Vines are classics. You know what I love about a Vine? It has an incredible amount of respect for your time. You gotta be... someone posted this on the subreddit. They're like... It was in the thread where Ms. Kiff was watching a clip of Hungry Box talking about like all the reasons he wanted to win Schooled, and then my face came up and he paused and talked about like my involvement in the event being, I mean, his words, not mine, the greatest thing that's ever happened in entertainment history. And someone in that thread on Reddit was talking about how like it's funny that NL has a lot of streamers who are fans of his, or at least enjoy what he does, but NL's favorite streamer is Chibli, who like is his exact antithesis from a humor standpoint. Like I come up with all these strange references that, you know, are, hey, this is just like, you know, that Robert Durst admission at the end of the Jinx. And Chib is literally just like, you know, MILF. What if a MILF was your aunt, you know, like that's like his whole thing, and it's it just works. I don't know what it is, but it tickles me. It's the same way, like, I think if I wrote for, like, cracked.com, which I guess doesn't really exist anymore, but, like, I could be funny. But if you were like, hey, you've got 8 seconds, make me laugh, you could take as much time as you need to come up with that 8 seconds, but you can only produce 8 seconds of content, make me laugh. I would just do what I do right now, but talk really fast. Whereas, I think, you know, the people who have the ability to make you laugh in a format like that, like, that's very, it's very impressive to me. Just say turkey ass. Anyway, I have no jokes, but yeah, I think, you know, and I'm not even saying that Chib is my favorite streamer, because he does, you know, not Zoomer streamer, glorifying gambling for an impressionable audience, wouldn't be me, but either way, I think it's a situation where, like, you have to respect that which you feel like you cannot do, or what does not come naturally to you. It's just a totally different vibe. Like, when I hear people talk like me, I get annoyed, because I'm like, shut up, you sound like you think you're better than everybody else. When I hear someone make a joke like Chib, or there's like a classic Vine, I just have to, like, it's like Hugh Jackman staring at the Almighty in the fountain. It's like you must simply genuflect. That's it. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. I respect it. I respect it. Nice try. What about Hugh Jackman staring at Beast when he gives the speech? I watched that Kelsey Grammer interview again last night. It makes me mad that he either has no self-awareness or he knows it's cringe, so he won't contextualize the speech. Kelsey Grammer, that is. But while talking about this speech that he gives in blue makeup, he literally says, like, and of course I had to extemporize it a little bit. We shall count their manhood's weak, you know the rest. And I'm like, just shut, dude. Just be like, yeah, it was weird. I was wearing blue makeup, little sideburns, blue sideburns on my face, quoting Shakespeare. Can you at least mention that you have blue makeup on while you're giving this speech? That's all I ask. Remember the one where he fell on stage? Oh, you mean the one where he tripped and then the dog tried to bite the back of his hair off? I got a lot of thoughts about that one. Why am I even doing it? Stop saying turkey ass, man. It gets me every time. It's gonna be, dude, it's a big week for content. Tokyo Olympics, already out. Mario Golf. I guess this isn't in a week, but like in the next few weeks. You've also got Black Widow. New episode of Loki every week. Second season of I Think You Should Leave. Like, there's... The NBA and NHL playoffs are popping off. Like... Not that I'm into both of those. There's just a lot of stuff, man. That Netflix show where people dress up like face rig and then go on dates. Don't say it. Dude, and this is coming from a place of sincerity. I'm being 100% sincere. I'm not part of the furry community, obviously, as much as they would love to have me. I don't want any club that would have me for a member. But I do consider myself an ally of the furries. Is this the sort of thing, like, if I watched it and talked about it, it would be considered bad taste by the people in the furry community? Or is it like nobody cares? Like, is this one of those things, is this like if somebody said, oh yeah, I care a lot about, like, the issues of equality. That's why my favorite movie is Crash, starring Sandra Bullock. You would be like, oh, I get it. I gotta go. Or would it be like, you know, as a furry, we don't care? Okay. Fair enough. In that case, I will definitely watch it. Just because, like, I don't necessarily expect it to be good. But it's certainly unlike anything I've ever seen before in my life. So I just gotta know, I guess. I just gotta know what it's like. Source, one guy. Excuse me, that's one Twitch partner who's also verified on Twitter. He has a blue check mark. As a result, his opinion is more important than infinite unverified opinions. Super bandage. Stop putting the Turkish flag and then the word ass next to each other. We're not talking about their performance at the Euro competition. Oh, we're talking about Norbit, dude. I will say I was on baby duty today, so I just had Euro on in the background, and it was 1-0 for Spain over Slovakia. And then I went upstairs to play with the baby and changed her diaper. I came downstairs like 30 minutes later. It was freaking 5-0. What happened? I mean, Spain's good. I guess if you're from Slovakia, you're like, bro, Spain's a good team. I'm like, 5 that's a big number in soccer. You know what? You're absolutely right. Book of Shadows is better for me. The goalie scored an own goal. Oh, man. That's a rough one. I like Slovakia, though, can I tell you? It's not based on anything to do with the country, but let me tell you why I like Slovakia. For one, awesome capital. That sounds like a Steely Dan song. Bratislava, Bratislava. Gonna sell my house in town. Cool flag. Also, hockey culture. They've produced many great and fun to watch NHL talents, including former Montreal Canadiens goaltender Yaroslav Halak. Marian Hossa, one of the most high-octane offensive talents of his generation. What about Zizek? Excuse me, poser. Read Theory at some point. He's Slovenian. I can't believe you could make a mistake like that. Rolled. Defeated in the marketplace of ideas. I also have never seen anything that Zizek has been a part of. I'm probably even mispronouncing his name. But for some reason, I know he's Slovenian. Probably because when you hear that somebody famous is Slovenian, you go, huh. How about that? Thank you. I can't be trusted with this level of responsibility. I had to go. It's too much power for one man. If I stayed in there for too long, I would have sipped from the wrong grail. We're going in. How to turn 8,000 people against you in 5 seconds. Oh, step 1, tell 300 friends to join the stream right away. You could have taken one. Yeah, but you gotta play the tape forward, okay? What if we took one and it sucked? Then we would have been like, that's a harder time to say no than just saying no at the very outset. Oh, what the heck? We're already here? It's easier to just be like, nah, I'm gonna abstain. It's like when people, and I mean, you could insert your own vice here. You know, whatever your vice is, like let's say you're a little gluttonous from time to time. What do you think is a higher success rate in reaching your fitness goals, for example? I'll just eat one potato chip, or I'm just not gonna eat any. I'm just gonna... I think it's a lot easier to say no to the zero with chip, despite us talking about how valuable that is and how it's probably the best of all the chips. I think it's probably easier to say no to the first one. Similarly, sometimes you might have a friend who's like, you know, hey, I'm gonna cut back on my drinking. And then you go out to the bar and they're like, I'm only gonna have 2. And you're like, oh, it's a bold decision. Like, I support it, but I think it's harder to say no once you got 2 in you. Is just my hunch on that one at the very least. I think there are situations where at least like a planned abstaining from the vice to begin with probably helps. Or like, you know, Dota, for example. Now, I'm not just saying that because Apollo's here. But if you think that playing Dota is something that should be limited, if you go, I'm just going to play one game. If you play a game and you win, you might be like, it's okay, I'm logging off. That was fun and a good idea. But what if you play a game and you lose and you're miserable? Then you're like, what the heck? I just played a game. I spent some of my leisure time to be miserable, and now I'm gonna sell low? I don't think so. Okay, is all going wrong? Hold on, just chill. What about Fortnite with Dan? Well, I was up for another one, but I'm glad that he said no. Apollo, you didn't see the Fortnite game that we played? I think you would... You're my kindred spirit on that one. We won, but I was furious. Well, that's not the right word. I was mildly peeved. First off, just to set the stage... Oh, let's go. Someone in chat said balls of steel, and it was correct. To set the stage, my good friend Daniel said, okay, but if you're only going to play one game, make sure you're on sweaty mode. We took 2 engagements in the early game where he didn't fire a single shot, but it was okay because they were bots. Then later we found 2 spaceships. He pressed the wrong button and accidentally bailed out of the spaceship 3 times in a row, despite illuminating for one another where the controls were on the screen. I would not say that his play led to my death. All I would say is that it was a contributing factor. It's not totally his fault I got beaten by a superior gamer. But then he went on to defeat the person that killed me by outlasting them when they died to fall damage. It's like there have been times in the past I've won a BR but felt bad about it. That's definitely one of them. Come on, dude. Don't do this. There we go. He did break the tower. He did break the tower. He won the game. I'm not saying he didn't win the game. I'm just saying, you know, he's like, hey, I just want to make sure you're taking the game seriously as much as possible. Fell out of a spaceship 3 times. He carried you? I can't deny it. Were it not for him, we would have lost. You could probably take out my performance on that one, and he might have still won. It's not like I saved him in any engagements. Okay. Freeze. We're just gonna chill. I can't die now because it would be too karma. Too karmatic. Easy win. Easy win. Take a little HP for the next floor. Swallowed M80. And now, Tainted Samson, might I add. Complete post-it note. For now, thanks for watching. That's good stuff. /marker, Tainted Samson, done.